Hey guys, we're here with Minecraft, and this is going to be the first, hopefully of many, Redstone tutorials. So we'll go on single player. You'll have to excuse Tian, that's my little sister's survival she's got going. And yeah, basically, I'm going to show you a couple of different things I've been working on, which hopefully will make your game a tiny bit easier. So we're just going to spawn in a kind of a just a normal plains biome. It's not particularly interesting or anything, and go for it, I guess. You're gonna want to dig. That's good, isn't it? You're going to want to dig out a trench, as you can see there. It's sort of an 8x3 trench, and then also dig some steps down, as you can see. Hopefully, I think I'm about to walk in. I'm kind of talking over the top of this. I thought it might be easier. If you guys would prefer me to do a live one, it'd be awesome if you could give me a comment or whatever. Wow, there we go. You just watched grass grow. I would do an action replay if I knew how. So yeah, you can see on the 8th one you want to dig down by 1. As you can see, I just dropped down there. I don't even know why I did that. So yeah. There's the one down. You just caught a glimpse of it again. Oh my god, looking back at me recording this, I look like such a doofus. I'm just not even doing anything useful at all. So yeah, this is just step 1. If you can imitate this, which is essentially literally just digging up some dirt, you should be fine. As you can see, there are the steps. That's where you dig it down. There are the steps that I've not quite finished. I think I'm about to. Yeah, I called it. It's almost like I know what's going to happen next, you guys. So yeah, this was step 1. Okay, so step 2 is super simple. You're just going to want to make fancy the steps down. I use some stone bricks and all the variations because it's probably my favorite texture in the game. I really like it. It's simple. I don't think it looks too bad when you repeat it a lot as well, which is good because you can intersperse it with the bits of mossy and stuff. So then you're going to want to put in the space there on the 8th one where you dug that tiny little trench down. You're going to need to put 3 hoppers, and then underneath that you need to put a chest, and another hopper in the middle. I'll demonstrate now, throwing things through into them. Unfortunately, you can't have 3 chests in a row along the bottom, obviously, and so the 3rd storage unit has to just be another hopper, which does limit the capacity slightly, but then again, you're going to have 5 stacks of 64 in there and 30 stacks of 64 there, so it's not like you're going to be making that much reed or collecting it that infrequently. So this should work fine as a storage capacity. As you can see, the stuff came through nice and easy. So that's it for step 2. Super simple. Make fancy the steps and 3 hoppers, chest, hopper, chest. Step 3 is actually even easier. Believe it or not, all you're going to need to do is pop 3 water sources down at this end, just with a bucket or whatever, and then after that, well, basically that's so that the reeds travel down to the hoppers, and when they get to the end, I keep calling them reeds, sugar canes. When they get to the end, as I'll demonstrate with this chicken, they'll drop down into either the hopper or the chest. It should go down any second now. It does take actually quite a bit of time, but there it is. As you can see, it just hops straight in there. Ha ha ha, see what I did there. The next part of step 3, so like step 3 part B. Wow, this is getting intense, huh? It's all like subsections and stuff. It's just do a horseshoe around it, leaving a 1 block gap the entire way around, and that's where the sugar canes are going to be eventually. I've used stone slabs. There's nothing like special about that. It's just once again like a personal preference. I quite like the texture, and I really dislike cobblestone. Cobblestone's not so good. So yeah, step 3. The next step, if you're still with me, is what naturally comes after 3, which is going to be step 4, and this is where it kind of starts getting a bit expensive to make. You've got to use 8 pistons on each side and 3 at the back. So that's a total of 19 pistons, and if perhaps you're struggling to find iron or redstone, which you shouldn't be, like you're not going to build this too early on in a survival world, it's kind of an end game thing. Anyway, there's quite a lot of pistons, so you might be saving up for a little while, or you might just want to do it on a smaller scale, and that's fine. So you want to put the pistons facing inwards on top of the horseshoe of stone slabs, or whatever building material you've chosen, and then whack a couple of reeds down in the gaps, just like this. And that's it for step 4. Step 5 is easy as you like. You're gonna... I've got to stop saying you're gonna wanna, don't I? It's not even words. It's really bad. You need to put a 2-high wall around the piston and stone slabs. Just the entire, like, encase the horseshoe, essentially, in a building material of your choice, although it does need to be able to have redstone placed on it. I left the corners blank there because I was messing around trying to pretty it up, although it turns out you do actually need those corners for the redstone current to flow, so just ignore what I'm doing here. You also need, on the left hand side, you can see that one block here, and that's so that the redstone current can get up from the circuitry, which I'll show you how to build soon. So yeah, you need to run redstone in a bit all the way around the horseshoe. And that's all that there is for step 5, really. I've cleared out a space there, which will be necessary in a bit, like I said, for the clock. Step 6 is going to take a few pieces of redstone, no more than a stack, depending on how big you've done it, and you need to run the redstone all the way along the horseshoe. Every now and again intersperse it with repeaters, although not behind any of the pistons or they won't work, because you need to keep the current running. Obviously redstone only travels, I think it's 15 or 16 blocks before it no longer powers anything, and so the repeaters literally just keep the line going. And that's all for step 6. Time has, I'm afraid, come in step 7 for it to get a tiny bit complicated. This is the redstone element, and it's not actually that bad. You need to set up from here this arrangement, so the redstone coming down, and you need to feed that into a block like so, with redstone torches actually on it. So you can see here that that redstone torch is powering the whole thing, the whole current. And also on that side there's another one here, so you can see that they both send power out in those two directions, as you can see when I turn them off and turn them on quickly then. When it's powered, the pistons are out, and that means the reeds can't grow. So what we have to do is unpower it, so that they can grow. And you do that with the little thing that you can see that's set up over here, the dispenser, the pressure plate, and by feeding power to them. So when you apply power to this torch, it turns it off, which turns all of the pistons off. I think I try and throw something. That was a feeble throw, wasn't it? If I throw something onto the pressure plate, like so, you can see that this current now has power, and it's turned off both the redstone, both the other redstone torches. So now the pistons are retracted, and that allows the sugarcanes to grow. It also means that there's no power going to the dispenser. So when finally this redstone torch on the pressure plate, when it despawns, that was the word I was looking for, when it despawns, it's going to repower these two torches beneath me, which is going to firstly push out all of the pistons, knocking the sugarcanes into the water, and secondly repower the dispenser, firing another thing onto the pressure plate, starting the whole process again. So what you've got is a kind of clock. It ticks over, constantly applying power to itself, and all you have to do is fill the dispenser up every now and again with useless crap that you don't need. So perhaps you've been mining and you have loads of cobblestone you don't need, or you've taken down a mountain, you've leveled an area of dirt, you know, that sort of thing. The wall that you can see sort of around it there is just to stop the item flying off the pressure plate. Sometimes that can happen, and I'll show you a way to get around that in the end. So yeah, that was basically all the clock is for. So as you can see, you throw it on, the pistons turn off, it sort of does it all by itself, and it's very, very nice. So yeah, that was step 7, and that was the redstone part of this. Yeah, I think we're all done. I will show you quickly if I place some reeds down and actually grow them to the height that the pistons will push them off, and show you here. There we go, the pistons pushed it out, and lo and behold, not really much of them went into the water, and that's because the less sugar canes you have, the smaller the yield is, unfortunately. Until the farm actually gets quite big, it can go a little bit wrong, which is a shame. There we go, you can see that one of the sugar canes went into that chest. It's not a 100% efficient system, but it is completely automated, and that's what you pay for. Well, you don't pay for. That leaves you the time to go and do other stuff, rather than manually keep farming reeds, which can be so repetitive, especially for tasks like trying to build a library so that you can get level 30 enchantments and stuff like that. I think I'll try it one more time, and you should see a lot more of a difference now that there are a lot more sugar canes. So if we go down here, take something off of the dispenser, there we go. See how many of them, now a few of them get caught on the top, but once again I'll show you a little way to get around that just by building a roof and a few walls. The rest of them go into the hoppers, and it's quite good actually. Like, as you can see, there was 11 in that one. There's quite a lot essentially. So that was it for step 7. Not too complicated, hopefully. Redstone type clock. Step 8 is actually quite a nice step. It's literally just the beautification of it all. As you can see, I've roofed it off with glowstone and glass, and fenced it off as well. I really like fence posts. They're kind of a nice little thing in the game. It's working. It has sugar canes in it. I've even hidden all the redstone. Every now and again you can go around, like I have, if you fence it off like this to stop mobs getting in there, that is. Go around and literally just collect some of the excess ones that have dropped off. As you can see here, I've tried to incorporate it almost back into the hill with the dirt and the mossy stone slabs. It's kind of like ruins or something, as if there's, I don't know, some kind of arcane power behind it all. I've not done a great job, if I'm honest. I only did it in a couple of minutes. It probably needed some more dirt, so I'll place that down now. I really don't like using dirt for stuff. I'll explain the bit on the top now for you. It's literally a hole down to the pressure plate, just in case anything doesn't make it on it. You can throw something down there and restart the whole system, because as you can see, that tiny little gap I was just pointing at, sometimes, and it is very rarely, the item fired out of the dispenser will fall down into that gap, and you'll have to throw something down. So yeah, this was step 8, and the whole thing is done now. I hope you enjoyed it. If you make it and it works, or perhaps you have any modifications, I'd love to hear about them in the comments. If you want to see me try and redstone anything else for you guys, that'd be wicked too. I'm completely open to suggestions. I'd like to do more on this series, because I don't know, I feel like redstone isn't really used that much in Minecraft. I feel like some people will play the single player game and not really use redstone at all, and that takes away from the game quite a lot, I think, because you can do an awful lot with redstone if you kind of have a really basic know-how of it. Like the circuitry to the left here was nothing really complicated. You can literally just copy the patterns that I do if you don't understand how it all works, and really quickly and effectively make simple little things. So anyway, leave a like or a favourite if you enjoyed it. It would be awesome if you could share it, perhaps. That would be wicked. And subscribe for more. This is Just Your Gaming out. Catch you guys next time.